Hello. For what does one have to truly pay for convenience? To have goods that are obtained faster, cheaper, and more convenient. And it's also updated. No? And also, how far do these companies have to go through to get these products to us? These are some of the underlying themes that are mentioned in The True Cost, a documentary that exposes the underlying supply chain principles behind the fast fashion industry. So uh, as I shown here, you can see the contrast between the people who consume the goods as well as the people who make them. It is a very stark contrast. So the fast fashion, it is very visceral. No? It has a lots of underlying labor and wastes that got into it. No? So for the right picture, it involves a child that is maybe undergoing a forced labor. And on the left, it is the consumers who just enjoy it, who just consume and be trendy among the folks. So as for the supply chain principles, no, so transportation, the supply chain of fast fashion, it involves lots of transportation. So every aspect of the process, from the raw materials to the raw materials to the facilities that it is manufactured in, as well as the distribution centers, they have their own specific and compartmentalized setup. So it involves multiple modalities. Sometimes the goods can be shipped by ship. No, it's very cost effective. It's relatively low in pollution, but it is slow. And the thing about fast fashion is, it is fast. It is very demanding. So the companies, they also utilize air transportation services so that they could get the goods to the destinations faster. But this also comes at a cost, an environmental cost. It adds a heavier carbon footprint and such. So, uh, uh, this companies should consider greener logistics. So, as for inventory management, because of the nature of the fast fashion industry, uh, companies tend to overproduce. So what does it mean by overproduce? So they anticipate that the which may last about like a few weeks or so. They may anticipate the one that will go super viral, no? And to account for that potential, to potential sales and such, they produce as many as they can. So, but that isn't always the case. So, as a result, when there's an imbalance between the anticipated and the actual sales figures, there are a lot of unsold items, and these unsold items are unfortunately disposed of in the landfills. So, I mean, there are some softwares, some technologies that mitigate that, but the underlying reason about it is not fully addressed. There will always be some excess stock remaining, no matter how good you can predict the demand. So as warehousing and distribution, so this is also a crucial part of the supply chain. Now this acts as a uh, as a connection, a node in a network. So and that and the flow of goods is very, it comes and goes. No, it consumes very large amounts of energy and footprint. And in transporting those products, the packaging waste is also a major concern. So as you can see, there are lots of single-use plastic that are used to cover the clothes and garments. And that is not reused really. And again, existing technology that can curb this demand. But again, the true nature of the fast fashion, it's unrelenting kasi. Um, you cannot truly stop it, and it can help curb some of the effects, but there will always be unused inventory. There will always be some sort of inventory that will be disposed, some sort of inventory that will be lost along the way and such. As for the sourcing and procurement, this is very also very contentious concern, because as much as the fashion companies, they want to be seen as this really sustainable, this really good, uh, trusted companies, they also want to maximize the profit and minimize the cost. So that often leads to, unfortunately, exploitation of developing nations. So they use very low wages. So it's not the workers receive it's not just, no, the farmers who produce the raw materials, they are exposed to toxic substances. And yeah, this really sparks the discussion of ethical sourcing. So ethical sourcing as well as transparency in the supply chain. As for the productions and operations, so because this fast fashion industry is, it's very it very banks on the trends and such. It The timeline from the design up to the actual actual product being available is very small, it's very tight, no. So it creates these extreme constraints that force unrealistic expectations upon the workers and the managers. So and it results in them facing unsafe environments, no. Just like the Rana Plaza disaster, the the workers noticed there are cracks already forming in the building, but the superiors still force them to work, and they cannot really deny the order because they will lose their job. And customer service. So uh, this this behavior, this trend of overconsumption, this is really cultivated by the companies, no. I mean, the bottom line for them is to generate revenue, and the one way that they do that is to make the customer experience as good as possible. So that includes making it convenient for them to access to shop. So omni-channel strategies. So not only the physical but also in e-platforms. They also keep their customers loyal and updated through updated fashion collections, and also they uh, they also have generous policies regarding returns, so that the confidence is maintained. And as for the environment and social impact, so yeah, as discussed, no, the fashion industry is very resource intensive. So that includes the raw materials, no, the cotton. Many farmers, especially in India, Bangladesh, they face occupational hazards. They are exposed to chemicals, pesticides that does not only harm them but also contaminates the water supply. So the community is also affected. And in recent years, H&M has pledged, no, has pledged. They have promised to address some of them, the sustainability concerns, but critics says otherwise. No, there are always some incident that slips through that is not congruent with what they are saying. As for the garment workers, so women is their source of livelihood, their best shot of providing for their family. They really face low wages, unfortunately. So as well as the unsafe conditions and the continuous fear, no, as the ones similar to what people have faced in the Rana Plaza disaster. And I might add as well, no, supplier codes of conduct exist. So the fashion companies, they have put out statements that dictate their criteria for choosing the right supplier. But you know, there's always things that slip through. You know, the employees, the side of the workers, they always don't get their way. Uh, so there's still a lot of labor disputes, and union busting. That those two concerns are prominent in recent years. So, what does this mean for the future of fast fashion? Uh, this is a very hard predicament because fast fashion as in a whole, no, it relies upon the continuous consumption and consumption of goods. No? It's like an infinite demand, but the supply, the resources, it is not. No, so uh, there are trends that can help the reframe the fast fashion industry, as which includes incorporating circular fashion. So instead of producing, maybe companies can move to reselling. So reselling it it lessens the amount of materials needed to manufacture and its associated transportation costs and distribution emissions. Technology, it is also another tool that can help supply chain traceability. So in the age of AI, no, uh, it it can predict outcomes better. It can automate warehouse systems, and keep track of all of the supply chain more accurately. But again, as I said again, the ultimate dilemma is the balance between profit versus responsibility. So so this whole problem, this needs the cooperation of both sides, the consumer and the company. So the consumer, they need to be conscious. They need to be the they need to be conscious of what they're consuming. They also need to be responsible about themselves and advocate for greener practices. While in the company side, they must also keep their word. uh, they they must not let illegal things or profit blind their way into responsibility, to actual responsibility. No? So uh, hopefully we can hold these companies accountable, and we can hold ourselves responsible in consuming these goods responsibly. So that's all for my reflection of the True Cost documentary, and thank you for watching.